Hey everyone, it's James from Epilogue Laser. Today's session, we're going to be taking a look at a question that came in from our master class on laser engraving drinkware. This class, Michael Mullins of Laser Engraving 911 showed us some great tips and tricks for how to set up artwork on all kinds of tumblers and drinkware. Now, one of the tips that was really popular was on a powder-coated tumbler, how to invert that image easily to be able to engrave it professionally on your tumbler. Now, he showed this in Illustrator, and a lot of people were asking, can I do this in CorelDRAW? So we put together a video to show you how. Stick around till the end. Illustrator users will find that there's a little bonus tip at the end for you as well. Let's get started. So here in CorelDRAW, we've got an image of the actual tumbler we're going to be engraving today. And I've set the height of the tumbler in the image to 7.5 inches, the same height as the actual tumbler. That's going to help us to resize the image, as well as to provide a mock-up to the customer. So let's go ahead and take this original image, make a copy of it. I'll bring this over here, and I can resize that however I want to look good on that tumbler. Make that just a little bit smaller. Once I'm happy with that, then all I need to do is I'm going to make this colored the same way it's going to look for the customer. So I know wherever it's black here, it's going to engrave away that powder coating and show silver through. So I'll give it kind of a gray color there. And that's how it's going to look on the tumbler itself. Now that looks okay, but it's an inverse of the actual logo the customer gave us. So not quite as professional as it actually could be. So for the second one, what I'm going to do is go ahead and make a copy of that logo. And what I need to do now is create an outline around the outside of this. So I'll go ahead and select it. I'll go to Object, Shaping, and Boundary. And that's going to create an outline around this entire logo. So if I pull that out, you can see that here. Go ahead and delete this. So I want to actually expand this outline a little bit. So I'm going to go to my contour tool. Make sure I've selected outside contour. Set my corners to rounded. And then I can select how far outside I want this contour to go. I'm setting this to 0.1 inches. So now you can see exactly how that contour is going to look. If I right click on this now, I can break that contour apart and remove that inner boundary we created. So now all I have to do is take my original image. I'll make a copy of that. Select that and my boundary and just go ahead and align those together. And there we go. So I want everything that's black right now to be white and everything white black. So I'll select the black section of the image, turn that white, grab this outer section here, give that a black fill and no outline. And there we go. We've got an exact inverted version of our logo. So now let's create that mock-up of the same logo for the customer so they can compare the two. So I'm going to make a copy of this. Now everything that's white right now is going to be the powder-coated color. So I'm going to give that a similar blue color to it. And everything that's black, it's going to be that silver. So I'll give it a gray. So now I can bring that over and place it on the cup. And I'll just resize that a little bit to how I want it. And now I could send the customer both of these, and they could choose which one's favorite one of theirs. But I do think that this is definitely the more professional look here because it's the actual logo that's going to be engraved. So that original process will work for probably 95% of the logos you receive. But once in a while, you will receive a logo that's a little bit more complicated. We'll show you how to take care of that here. And we're using the same logo Michael used in the class. And what's different about this logo is it's open at the bottom. So it's not as easy to create that boundary that we did originally. So all we need to do here is we're going to select the graphic, and we're just going to create a copy of that. And now we're going to look for any areas of the logo that are open, like this area at the bottom. So I'll just come over and I'll choose my Bezier tool. And we're just going to artificially close up this logo. Now we are changing this logo, but that's okay because we're not actually going to be engraving this graphic. This is just to create that outside boundary. Give that a fill. So now when I select the whole piece, I can come up here and click on Create Boundary. And then I'll do my contour tool, set that to an outside contour, rounded corners, and set my distance. And there we go. So now I can just right click on that, break that contour apart, and I've got that outside boundary that we want. I'll delete the graphic that we changed. Then I'll take this original graphic, go ahead and bring that to the front of the page, group it, and then I can align the two together. Now we're going to reverse the colors on it, so I'll grab everything that's black and turn that white, and take this outside area and turn that black with no outline. And there we go. That's the graphic that we'll be engraving. Now to get that ready as a mock-up, I'll go ahead and duplicate that again. Now everything that's white here is going to actually be what is the original color of the cup itself. So I'm going to go ahead and change the color to that. And everything that's black is what's engraved away. So we'll see silver there, so we'll change that color. Now we can take that over and place it on our mock-up. And you can see here the two different graphics, and this is their correct logo compared to this one, which is reversed. So it's just a much better look. Next, we'll go ahead and engrave one of these so you can see how it looks. So here at the machine with the rotary installed, I'll just place that tumbler right against that edge with the rotary clip or lip clamp holding in place. Make sure both wheels are on that thick part so it turns evenly. And then I'm just going to adjust the leveling of it so the area we're engraving is as level as possible. Finally, I just need to use my manual focus gauge, and I'll lift that table up until it's just touching the manual focus gauge there so we know that it's going to be in focus. Okay, we should be good to go. Now that we have that tumbler set up inside the machine, we're ready to send our graphic over. So I'm just going to turn this the same direction as the tumbler sitting in the machine. And I'll go ahead and print this and send it over the laser. So I'll choose Epilogue Engraver as my printer and make sure I've got selection only and print. And this is going to send that file over to our laser dashboard. Now when that opens in laser dashboard, you're not going to want to use the cameras here. With the rotary attachment, what you're going to use is center engraving. This is really the easiest way to set this up. So I'll come into the Advanced tab, and I'll choose Center Engraving. Now when I come back to my preview window, I can see the little red dot here is going to allow me to set a center position on that rotary and engrave around that area. Now I'm ready to set up my graphic, so I'm going to use 400 dpi. This is on a Fusion Maker 1230 watt. So I'm going to take this all the way down to 10% speed, 100% power. And I'll go ahead and do bottom to top engraving just so we can see it engrave as it's rolling through there on the camera. Let's hit print and we'll send that over to the laser. So back at the laser, I'm going to use my flexible ruler just to measure the area that we have to engrave, which is 3.5 inches. So I can just bring this out until it's at 1.75 inches. Push my centering point button, and that's going to be the center point we engrave around. So next what I'm going to do is hit the trace button. This is just going to give me an outline around the area we're going to engrave, and using that red dot I can see that this is great positioning for it, so we should be good to go. So with everything set up, we'll start up that job to engrave. So we're ready to clean this off now. And there's a little bit of debris on here, so we just need to wipe this off. And what we use at Epilogue a lot of times is this blue powder coat residue remover. It works very well. A lot of people use the LA Totally Awesome. That's great too. But I'm just going to put a little bit on the cloth and just quickly wipe this off. You can already see just how much nicer this looks. Bright and shiny. So came out really nice. I'm very happy with that engraving. So I promised you a bonus tip in Illustrator. So we're just going to take those same techniques we used in CorelDRAW and apply them to an Illustrator graphic. So here we've got that simple logo that I'm just going to duplicate. Click Alt and drag that over. And now I just need to create that boundary by going to Object, Path, Offset Path. And I can set my 0.1 inch, round, click OK. And finally, just one time, I need to go to Pathfinder and merge and unite those to get rid of those additional shapes. So now I can take my original graphic, bring that to the front, and I'm going to turn that white. And then I'll just go ahead and align those together. And there you go. Just a few steps. We had that all completely taken care of and have that graphic done. Now, if we want to do the same thing with the more complicated open graphic, and that's where the boundaries aren't actually closed at the bottom, what we need to do is first close that off. So what I'll do is duplicate that. Then I'm just going to come over to my pen tool. I'll deselect that graphic first, then go to my pen tool. And it's going to click and drag to close off that graphic. This is just going to allow us to create that outside path very quickly and easily. So once I've done that, I'll select everything. Go ahead and group that. Object, Path, Offset Path. Use those same settings. And then I'll merge and align that to get rid of those extra pieces. Grab my original graphic. And I'll bring that to the front. Turn it white. Group it. And then I'll just align those together. And there you go. Your graphic's all ready to go. Now, this was a really simple way to do it with an Illustrator, so I hope you found that helpful. Thanks for joining us today. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe so you find out when the latest videos are coming out from Epilog Laser. If you'd like to find out more about Epilog Laser, visit us at epiloglaser.com, fill out the form on our website. We'll be in touch with lots of information about laser engravers and what you can do with them. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.